He's not only among the newest Raptors, he's among the newest Raptors fan favorites, endearing himself to the North Dem with 31 in his fourth game as a Raptor, 44 in his ninth game as a Raptor, and oh yeah, he was a plus 54 versus the Warriors, second best number in the history of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Tim and Friends crew, Gary Trent Jr. Gary, thanks for doing this.
I appreciate y'all having me. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Do you feel as comfortable as it looks like you feel with your new team?
You could say that. You know, when I first got here, everybody did an amazing job. Was making it. You know, the transition as normal as possible. Whether giving me advice, showing me, play, showing me sets. So, like I said, when I first got here, just trying to learn as much as I can, absorb as much as I can, and grow and be a part and come together as much as I can with the team and the guys and the organization and the city and everything. So, that's my goal.
And you seem to have the gear too, Gary. Does Drake just send you a box of OVO stuff? Did the Blue Jays send you a personalized jersey, or are you just spending your time and your money ordering some of that up?
I already had the OVO shirt for a while now, and then I can't lie, the Blue Jays showed some love, and by the honor of giving me one of their jerseys, I appreciate it. So shout out to the Blue Jays, much love.
What about the silk drip on the sidelines? Like that got some love.
that was just in the closet, you know what I mean?
Let us know when the next viral look is coming out, because you've already made an impact with your clothing already.
No, that's never the goal. Just all clean.
All right, let's talk about the impact that you've made on the court. Listen, I don't know the last time. I mean, I know because a stat guy told me Klay Thompson did something similar, but 44 on 19 shots. Like, have you ever done, like, Duke, Prolific, Prep, Apple Valley? Have you ever done 44 on 19 before?
Man, I don't think I have. Like I said, like I always say, I was just given an opportunity. Coach put me in positions, teammates found me, and I just got hot, kept going, guys kept feeding me. So it was just one of those nights.
Gary, was it too crowded a backcourt in Portland, or were you not being used properly in Portland?
I wouldn't really say either.
Okay.
Players that are there, Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Carmelo Anthony, all those guys are Hall of Fame guys, So the whole time I was there, I was trying to learn as much as I could from them, be a sponge. I asked them everything, questions to the craziest thing, to on court, to off court, to how do you handle this situation with your family, everything, those are my vets, they've been in a position, they've been in the league for a while now. So really just being there, I was trying to learn as much as I could. I wouldn't say that it was overcrowded or it wasn't, just wasn't able to, showcase what I could do,
Sure.
Wasn't my time. Still learning.
What are a couple of pieces of advice that you carry with you, that one or two of those guys may have shared with you?
I won't even say it was just, the advice that they said to me, like, young fella, come here and talk to me. I wouldn't even say that. I would say it's, through their actions. Like I said, I watched them. I watched them go 100% every shoot around. I see them locked in every practice. I see on the plane, they're watching film, they're getting better, they're talking, they're discussing the game. There's a lot of things, little things that they do, to separate themselves from, their peers in the competition. And I took away as much as I could.
When you're drafted in the second round, and I know like one and done is evolving these days, but when you're drafted in the second round, it kind of forces you to grind immediately. But that slow build, like we're going to talk about NFL quarterbacks a little bit later on in the show, and some of the best quarterbacks in the history of the game sat and watched for a little while. Like Patty Mahomes didn't start immediately. He came in after Alex Smith and had kind of watched other guys go about it. I know as a competitor, you probably wanted to jump right into the deep end. But having sat and watched Dame and CJ work, do you think like you kind of accrued a little bit of knowledge that you might not have got if you had been drafted in a different spot?
You could say that for sure. Like the things I learned, are not comparable at all. Coming into the second round, obviously within myself, I thought I should be a little higher. So I already came in, with a certain chip on my shoulder. Already having a chip, and they just really helped me. They treated me like I was just a regular draft pick. Dame text me, even being drafted in the second round. You know, I don't know how many guys are texting second round picks if they're the head of the organization. You know, it's just who they are as people. You know, so like you said, I took everything from them as I could.
Gary, there's a lot of talk about what the future of college basketball is going to be. We've already seen the one and dones, seen guys say, you know what, we're not going to do this. We're going to go to the G League, the transfer portal, what's happening with it now. What's your stance on what college basketball is? Is there a value in it for a player who's headed to the league? And if I were to say, Gary, make a couple of recommendations on how to make NCAA ball better, what would you do?
Well, first, it's different. You know, the type of player, who they are. You know, there's different options that they could go to. For example, if you're talking to a kid that potentially has, you know, generational talent, or you know, has a great chance of being a one and done. There's a lot of things that you can offer with the G Night League. You know, so I think it's like where they have the young guys, you know, that has the potential to be. They can go there. You have that option. You can go to college. You know, college can help. You know, a little bit. In a sense, you know, obviously there's different alternatives you can go to. You can go overseas as well too. So to be honest with you, to answer your question, who is this player and what kind of player are we talking about?
Right. So if you're so you're a Minnesota guy.
Yeah.
The next Jalen Suggs, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, he calls you up and says, Gary, I know I can be a top 5, top 10 pick. What do you think I should do coming out of high school? What would be some of your advice for him?
Well, first of all, I'll tell him whatever's best for you and your family. You know, at the end of the day, if you're going to take that chance, you know, there's a lot of things that can happen. You know, if you go there or if you go to college, you know, they come to sport injuries, you know, a lot of type of things. So it all depends on their situation. But for example, a player like Jalen Suggs, you know, I would tell him go ahead and make that move. If you're ready to make that jump, go ahead and try to go to the G League and, you know, try to make it out that way. You feel like you're going to play, you know. It's just college. You're able to showcase against college players. If you go to the G League, you're playing against, you know, minor league pros, some pros that's been in the NBA already, some pros not. So, you know, it's kind of just depending on your level and what you want to do and what's best for you and your family. That's probably the honest answer I give them. I wouldn't tell them what to do, but.
Yeah. Don't play down your high school career. A little McDonald's All-American joining us here, Gary Trent Jr. here on Tim and Friends. Being in the West, did you know much about the Raptors team you were joining? I mean, I guess you saw the chip run, but did you know much about the players on the team?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, outside looking in, you hear all the stories, you know, whether it's how Siakam, you know, blew up, you know, in year 3, how Freddie, you know, he bets on himself, underdog, chip on his shoulder, you know, his story, you know, Kyle's story, OG's story. So, you know, a lot of guys' stories, you know, outside looking in. But, you know, being on the West, you know, it's completely different than the East. It's kind of run and gun. It's more chucking threes. You know, the East is kind of grinded out. You know, it's in the East, they're still throwing it into the post a little bit here and there. You don't really get too much of that in the West. But, you know, it's a great thing. But I know a little bit of the Raptors, you know, coming up.
It's funny, Gary, because Nick Nurse, you know, on the championship run, Box and One came out. Yeah. And it's like, okay, we're running basic high school stuff on defense. But Nick's known for running some complex defensive schemes. There's not a ton of practice time in a compressed schedule. How have you been able to integrate yourself into exactly what they're doing when you don't have a lot of time? You just got to hit the ground running.
Yeah, just try to, you know, play. Rely on your instincts. You know, you rely to your training. You go through, you just listen, ask questions. You know, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Just continue to ask questions, learn as much as you can, and be a sponge. You know, don't come in thinking you know it all. You know, just try to, you know, gel. You know, be a good teammate.
You're an RFA at the end of the year. Do you see the Raptors as a place that you feel like you can grow?
For sure. You know, it's a great organization. The player development, you know, is solid. You know, really second to none. You know what they stand for, what they've done, what they've proven, what they've brought through. You know, how would you not be a part of that? How would you not want to be a part of that?
I know it's not close to the same in Tampa. Kind of limited and adopted fans. As a dude that sat in Jurassic Park during those championship runs, I can tell you it's a little bit different when you get up here. But I know that you're kind of on Twitter. Have you been able to kind of feel the love that you've been getting through social media, through Twitter and Instagram?
Sure. You know, there's all types of love. You know, whether it's when you first got here, you have a great game, a bad game, you know, the love and the support is never gone, you know. And it's crazy, you know, the following, but you got to think, you know, it's my first time playing for, you know, a team in a different country. You know, for example, if you're playing for a team in that state or even that city, you know, they have their certain amount of fans or whoever supports them, but, you know, you have a whole country behind you. It's kind of different.
Gary, this was fun. We really appreciate you taking the time and doing this with us. And hopefully, when you guys get back to Toronto and we're all in a better spot, you can come in studio and talk to us.
Man, I'll enjoy that. Please.
All right. Be well, man.
Thanks, Gary.
There is Gary Trent Jr., the newest and among the favorite Toronto Raptors already.